Tail off. To gradually become less in amount or lower in level. Take after. If you take after an older member of your family, you look like them or you have a similar personality to them. Take apart. If you take apart something, you separate it into the pieces it's made of. Take away. If you take something away, you take it somewhere else. Take back. 1. If you take something back, you return it to the place you got it from, or return it to the shop you bought it from. Take back. 2. If a store takes back something they've sold, they allow the buyer to return it for a refund, or exchange it. Take back. 3. If you take back something you said, you admit that you said the wrong thing and withdraw your comments. Take down. 1. If you take down a large structure, you dismantle it, or separate it into the parts from which it was assembled. Take down. 2. To remove something that's fixed to a wall, like a picture or a poster. Take in. 1. To include something. Take in. 2. To fully understand something you hear or read. Take off. 1. To remove a piece of clothing, or the top of a container. Take off. 2. If a plane takes off, it leaves the ground and rises into the sky. Take off. 3. To have a period of time away from work. Take off. 4. To become popular or successful in a short time. Take on. 1. If you take on something like a job, a responsibility, or anything involving a challenge, you agree to do it. Take on. 2. To give someone a job. Take on. 3. To fight, or compete against, someone or something. Take out. 1. If you take somebody out, you invite him to go out with you, usually for a meal or entertainment. Take out. 2. To remove something from a container, a pocket, a bag, etc. Take out. 3. To obtain something like a loan, an insurance policy, a patent, etc. Take over. 1. To take control of something like a company, an organization, a government, or a territory. Take over. 2. To begin doing a job or a task that someone else had been doing previously. Take up. 1. To fill an area of space or a period of time. Take up. 2. To start doing something new like playing a sport, doing a job, or pursuing a hobby. Take up. 3. To shorten a piece of clothing or a curtain to make it the right size. Talk back. To reply rudely to someone in a position of authority. Talk down to. If you talk down to someone, you speak to them as if they are inferior to you or less important than you. Talk into. If you talk someone into doing something, you persuade him to do it. Talk out of. If you talk someone out of something, you persuade them not to do it. Talk over. To discuss a situation with someone, usually before making a decision. Talk round. If you talk somebody round, you persuade him to do what you want him to do, or to agree with you. Talk up. To speak enthusiastically about something, usually in order to persuade someone to buy it or invest in it. Tear apart. To destroy something by breaking it into 2 or more pieces. Tear down. To demolish a building or other structure. Tear up. If you tear up a piece of paper, you tear it into several pieces. Tell apart. To tell the difference between 2 or more things that are very much alike. Tell off. To strongly criticize someone for doing something wrong. Think back. To think about a past event or a past time. Think of. 1. To have something come to mind. Think of. 2. To have an opinion about something or someone. Think over. To think carefully about something before making a decision. Think up. To use one's imagination to come up with something like an excuse, a name, a plan, or a story. Throw away. To get rid of something you don't want, usually by putting it in a rubbish bin or a garbage can. Throw off. To get rid of something that has been bothering you. Throw out. 1. To discard something you don't want, usually by putting it in a rubbish bin or a garbage can. Throw out. 2. To force somebody to leave something like a club, a college or school, an organization, etc. Throw up. If someone throws up, they vomit up the contents of their stomach. Tidy up. To make a place look neat and tidy. Tie up. 1. To tie together the ends of something. Tie up. 2. To make somebody busy with something. Tie up. 3. To make something or someone unavailable by committing them to something. Tip off. To warn someone or give someone secret information about something. Top up. To completely fill something like a glass or a container, or to increase the level of something like a phone card. Touch on. To talk briefly about something when speaking or writing about another topic. Toy with. To think about doing something, but not very seriously. Track down. To find something after a long search. Try on. To put on clothes or shoes before buying them to see if they fit properly and look good. Try out. To test something to see what it's like, or to see if it works properly. Turn around. To change something unsuccessful into something successful. Turn away. If someone turns you away, they don't allow you to enter a place. Turn back. To return in the direction from which you've come, or to make someone do this. Turn down. 1. To decrease or lower the volume, heat, power, etc. of an appliance by turning a knob or pressing a button. Turn down. 2. If you turn down an offer or a request, you decide not to accept it. Turn in. 1. To go to bed. Turn in. 2. If you turn somebody in, you tell the police that the person has committed a crime or you hand him over to the police yourself. Turn into. To change from one thing into another. Turn off. To stop a machine or an appliance from working by using a button or a switch. Turn on. To start a machine or an appliance by pressing a button or flicking a switch. Turn out. 1. To make a light go off. Turn out. 2. To have a certain outcome, or to end in a certain way. Turn over. 1. To change the position of something so that the side facing down is now facing up. Turn over. 2. To change your body's position when lying down so that you are facing the opposite direction. Turn up. 1. To increase the volume, heat, power, etc. of an appliance by turning a knob or pressing a button. Turn up. 2. If someone turns up somewhere, they arrive without being expected, or without telling anyone they'd be coming.